Hello, welcome back to Ashman's Doleboy, Club 4, Episode 3. Back a little bit earlier than planned. Quite a busy January transfer window. Just thought I'd update you on that. We'll play our game against Man United, and then we'll come back tomorrow's episode for the Tottenham and second knockout round as planned. So, without further ado, we'll get into those transfers. But just before, if you enjoy what you see, just give me a like, subscribe, that'd be beautiful. But no, I suppose we'll go to the transfers. You're already aware of Vlasic and Phillips on their way out. Lloyd and Barbini have gone out on loan to get some game time. We've sent out Omar Ruiz. Wasn't really any chance he was going to get in the first team. He's fast, but that's really about all he had going for him. Baggies have given us 17 million for him, half up front and half over the next few years. Likewise with David Raya, we'd signed in a new goalkeeper. Wasn't really going to get anywhere near the team. We got a few million for him. I think it was about 5 to 6. Same with Nazareno Colombo. Likewise, he just wasn't going to get near the team. I'm not playing a right back. He's nowhere near these centre backs. Wasn't interested in playing him. Got 10 million for it, was it? Yeah, 10.75. A youngster, Stephen Kelly, wasn't going to get near the first team again. Sent him out. 6'6". That's nice, but it's not everything. It's most things, but not everything. Pedro, our striker. Bit old, massive wages. We managed to get in 34 million for him. Half up front, half over the next few years again. Not really concerned with losing him because I've brought in a few strikers again, as I'm going to show you. Juan Padilla, we brought him back from loan. Probably wasn't going to get near first team. Sent him back out on loan again. He's gone out to Leicester. He was at Seattle, so I thought that was a better idea. And Jamal Lewis. He'd recently been given a contract update for some reason. But he was, I think, our third best left back. Wasn't going to get near the team. Sold him, I think, 46k a week. I'm paying them as well, annoyingly, but 17 million in. So it's took our total sales for the year, obviously before ours, to 243. Roughly 30, 40 of that was before we took over. So we've brought in at least 200 million in this window, which is ridiculous. Players that you were aware that we'd signed. We've shown you Orellana, Laporte and Thiago. We'd also shown you Calar. This is the new goalie we brought in, Achelio Lopez. He's played a few times. The times that he hasn't played, and not to Stegen, sorry. I forgot my own goalkeeper's name, Nöbel. When Nöbel played, we've had really poor results. So I've kind of done with him now. But yeah, Lopez has came in for a really reasonable price. He's a very good player. We had one right back, the right wing back, Dodo. So I've brought in Enrique Herrera to give him a little bit of cover, a little bit of a challenge as well. Crossing and dribbling are fantastic, but I didn't want to spend 30, 40 million on someone that was probably going to get a little bit more game time than Herrera. I thought 6 million was a reasonable amount, so we brought him in for that. Another centre-back we've brought in was Matteo Lovato. Kind of been following him for a little while, since he moved from Juve, really. He went to Udinese, and obviously they've made quite a bit of money on him, but I think he's a good player, and we'll make some use out of that 35 million. On deadline day as well as Lovato, we brought in Stan Spruit for 27.5. I think if I remember rightly, it was 12.5 up front, 15 over 3 years. But he'll do good for that advanced forward role. Stumbling over my words here. Fast, agile, good balance, anticipation, dribbling, off the ball, technique. It's what we want. I think he's already scored on his debut. Very good. And also, finally, we brought in Joe Samar, another Brazilian wonder kid. It says he can be a striker, but to be honest, looking at his stats, I want him to play as Mamazala and support because that's everything already there. And he's 19, so he's definitely going to do a job for us over the next few years. Annoyingly, because I've had to bring in so many players, my dynamics have been upset quite a bit. There's quite a lot of players that have been left out of the Europa League squad, but I've just told them all that I'll get him in at the next opportunity, which will be next year, if we're lucky. So kind of think I've got away with that for most of them. I've also got Dragan Marjanovic. He's on his way out for 12 million to Frankfurt, I believe. Yeah. So I've already offered that. My dog's squeaking at all. I did bring back, where am I going to find him? Bear with me a second. Jovan Cabral, because he was out of contract at the end of the year. So I took him back off loan from, I think, Sociedad. Villa offered 11 million and I accepted, but he decided to join Sociedad on a free transfer at the end of the year. So I've kind of done Sociedad dirty by bringing him back and trying to sell him, and they've flip reversed it on me, which is nice. But I've just dropped him down to my under 18s because I'm sulking because they didn't leave for money. Also, a youngster we've got out, not a youngster, one of our second or third goalkeepers out on loan, and he's just triggered the existing required games. I think it was 20 or 25 games. So, yeah, we've got quite a lot of change to the team. I'm pretty sure it's for the better. Definitely sure it's for the better. A few players that are still knocking about that I'm not particularly happy here. Mostly Gabriel, because he's saying that he's too big to the club and he wants Champions League football. And I've tried to offer him out, but no one wants him. So he's going to have to just get over it. But we'll go into the Man U game. But before we do so, I'll let you know how we've been getting on. QPR, we played after the Chelsea game, beat them 6-0. Happy days. Thiago's debut. I also bought Elias Brown back on loan from Stuttgart. He's playing quite well. He's playing as that advanced forward. Just more cover as strikers. We've been playing 3 of them, so we need quite a few in. We then played Newcastle. See, if you noticed, we've got Achelio Lopez. Oh, Boyce is in goal for that one. I think it was before Lopez had joined. Lopez is in here. We won 4-1. And then this one I accidentally played Lopez and we lost 3-2. That didn't prove my point at all, did it? Don't worry about it then. Newball was in for the Leicester game. We lost 2-0. And he was also in for the game against Southampton, who scored an 88th minute winner, which kind of sealed the fate for Newball for me. I think I kind of wanted to get rid of him anyway, but definitely sealed the fate. And then this was Spruit's debut. And got a goal in the 8th minute against Derby. So I suppose we should really get into our game against Manchester United. Tells me to go very defensive. It's clearly not going to happen. I'll go balanced at most. I don't believe there's anything that we want to do change-wise. The only thing we do want to do is make sure Lopez is in goal. We've got Dodo and Saka either side of Kalar in the middle. I'm playing him as a deep line playmaker now rather than a half-back. But on defend, so he should still loiter around just in front of the centre-backs. Charles and Joe Samara in the middle, with Thiago behind Spruit and Adam. I believe, Brown's unfit at the moment. Can probably play a bit of the game, so I might just scoot him up onto the bench for that. Kind of looking to get rid of Jota and Everton, mainly because they're not my players. I didn't bring them in, so I'm not interested in them. Ooh, we'll put numbers on these guys. And what we'll do, as soon as the game starts, I'll scoot myself back up where I'm supposed to be. And here we go. Early kickoff against Man United. We're 3 seconds in, but I've paused it so I can just get myself where I need to be. We're currently sitting 12th in the league. Pretty comfortable for not being near the drop, I'd expect. Trying to push towards these top 7 positions. I think it's manageable. We've got quite a few games left. We're 4 points behind Tottenham, but they've also got 2 games in hand against us. So I think maybe that's maybe it's something I want to do is try and finish ahead of Tottenham, and we'll see what we can do towards that. So Thiago's just had a big old kick there. Who's this chasing back? He's all over the place. I think it was Gabriel. Oh, okay. Had me a bit concerned, that did. Thought he was just going to pop it straight across and into the net then, which I'd have been pretty upset about. Massimo Guinta, I don't know how to pronounce this. I was looking at him just after we'd signed Unai Simon with Mönchengladbach, and I'm pretty annoyed we couldn't sign him. So I think it's about 20 million, and he's really good. So it's one of those ones where it's not necessarily one that we've missed out on, but one that I couldn't really justify signing. So quite a familiar name there with Lado, and Pedri, I believe, is in the Manchester United team as well. They're something else. This Manchester United team are just silly. Yusuf Demir is one of the best wonder kids in the game. I'm not even sure Marigliano's real, but he's very good, I know that. Haaland, Camavinga, Rainier, Todibo, Adaribayo, Lado, we know is good. It's a pretty strong team. As you can tell by our XG, which is also pretty dire. It's terrible. I'm going to tell them I'm not happy. One person was upset. Jamie Charles. Not that one. I don't know. I think this season's kind of just getting through to the end, pushing up to the table as high as we can. I think realistically it's going to be missing out on Europe. Baldwin's missed out on a header again. He's too short. He's 5'10". It's not acceptable for a centre-back. It's just not. I do have my tactics set up so my centre-backs obviously are the focal point for headers. I think I need to change that if Baldwin's playing. But that resolves me in having to remember to change it each game, which is a different matter. I'm just hoping that the guys at AFTV are not upset of what I'm doing. You'll have the little banners floating around in the stands. I suppose it's been, best part of 2 months now, and I haven't brought them a title or a cup or anything, so there is going to be calls from ahead, I suppose. Especially from the Arsenal faithful, if you can call them that. I did notice as well, just after I joined this, Tottenham had sacked Mourinho, which was a bit annoying because Tottenham are a stronger team on this at the moment. So, I don't know. I think it's going to be a better story and a better plan to try and get Arsenal higher up, I think, than Tottenham, who are faltering slightly. Arsenal are all over the shop. You can tell that by the fact that they've only just sacked their manager from the start of the game. So, it's going to be fun. Right, Lado, Todibo, just a lump out to the right wing. And then they're just passing around like we're not there. And the goalie's claimed it. Well done, Achelio. I haven't actually looked how tall he is. It concerns me he didn't seem that tall then. I think I might just be not seeing it correctly, but I think he's 6'2", actually, if I remember right. Kind of concerned that I don't remember checking his height now. I'll have a look when we go back into the different screen. Oh, that's not what we wanted. Yeah, I've brought you back just to see me getting spanked by the looks of it. Let's not watch that again. Let's find out how tall our goalie is. Yeah, he's 6'2", that's good. Marigliano, that's a penalty. Why? Why don't my centre-backs just stop handballing it? Gabriel gave away one, I believe, in the last episode, if not in the games in between. You'd think someone to tell them to jump and not, like, waft their hands up in the air. But evidently, that isn't something that they have done. Go on, Lopez. You can save this, lad. Top left. Well, I mean, you got a hand to it, but that isn't by any chance what I'm looking for, is it? It's weird. Ball's just made a noise on my shoulder. Obviously, there's a spirit in here that's livid at that penalty. Spirit's having a good game. It's a good sign for us. We'll bring Brown on. We'll swap those two over. We'll also swap out Josimar. Literally, all of my signings are just absolutely dire. I think I should have just come back for the Derby game, but I thought Man U game will be much more interesting. 4-0 loss. It's not what I want, is it? Here we are. Hey, those subs, they're going to make all the difference. We'll go attacking. We'll get them all back now. Never mind. No, that didn't happen. That didn't work. We were drawing at half time. Can we get a point for that? Half a point, I'll take. No? Alright. Fair enough. It's worth a shot. That wasn't the best of games. Let's all be honest. I'll have a look to see if we're going to find out about this draw, who we're going to be playing. I think they've only just played their first leg, but at least I can go to it and we can find out who the teams are. Joe Samar's made his debut. I think just if someone plays a debut, they'll either score or just play really poorly, which is less than ideal. But where's the fun in all players playing well all the time? There's lots of fun in it, and they still don't do it. It's rude. So, Celtic and Betis, 2-2. It looks like Monaco are going through from that leg. Mainz I'd probably expect to go through over Bruges. Mönchengladbach I'd expect to go over Prague, so that could be an interesting one. Atletico Madrid are ahead of Fiorentina. It's probably going to carry on that way. I'd expect Lille to qualify over Cluj. Likewise with Sporting ahead of Zenit. And AZ against Hamburg. I couldn't call that. I'd lean towards AZ because quite a lot of the Dutch teams are really strong. And the fact that I gave them 78 million at the start of the year for Sydney Beato, or the year before. So they've definitely got money to improve. But we're not going to have the second draw anytime soon. But if you've enjoyed that, give me a like, as we said earlier in the video. Subscribe. Thank you for your time.